opposition, no more struggle, no more challenges, no more battle, because there comes a time where you need to rest from your battle. And God said, after today, you shall rest from your battle. The battle of your marriage, the battle of your business, the battle of your finances, the battle of your sickness, the battle of your shame, the battle of your disgrace, the battle of your setback, the battle of the pains you don't want to forget. God said, you will rest from your battle. Open your Bibles with me to the book of Jonah, chapter number 1. I'm reading from the verse number 1 to the end, so follow me closely. He said, now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry out against it, for their wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah arose and fled to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down into it, to go with them to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind on the sea, and there was a mighty tempest on the sea, so that the ship was about to be broken up. Then the mariners were afraid, and every man cried out to his God, and threw the cargo that was in the ship into the sea to lighten the load. But Jonah had gone down into the lower parts of the ship, and lay down and was fast asleep. So the captain came to him and said to him, what do you mean, sleeper? Arise, call on your God. Perhaps your God will consider us, so that we may not perish. And he said to one another, come, let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this trouble has come upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. Then he said to him, please tell us, for whose cause is this trouble upon us? What is your occupation, and where do you come from? What is your country, and of what people are you? So he said to them, I am a Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. Then the men were exceedingly afraid, and said to him, why have you done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Then they said to him, what shall we do to you, that the sea may become for us? For the sea was growing more tempestuous. And he said to them, pick me up and throw me into the sea, and the sea will become calm for you. For I know that this great tempest is because of me. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to return to land, but they could not, for the sea continued to grow more tempestuous against them. Therefore they cried out to the Lord and said, we pray, O Lord, please do not let us perish for this man's life, and do not charge us with innocent blood. For you, O Lord, have done as it pleased you. So they picked up Jonah and threw him into the sea, and the sea ceased from its raging. Then the men feared the Lord exceedingly, and offered a sacrifice to the Lord, and took vows. Now the Lord has prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Amen. I shared with you this message last week. The title is, who is on your boat? Who is on your boat? I'm just doing the part 2 of it. Who is on your boat? You have to understand that life journeys involves people in your life. Whether you like it or not, people will definitely plug into your life for wherever you are going. You either know of it or you are not aware of it. Most times we only tend to think of only ourselves. And even when people are in our life, we don't see that they are in our life. And so decisions we take and how we behave and take decisions based on ourselves and where we are getting to. But there is no one that can get to his destination without a means to that destination. And that means is critical to how you get to your destination. You can have dreams, you can have aspirations, you can have so many potentials, but if you don't get the right means, those dreams and aspirations will be hanging and it will never be fulfilled. But when you get the right vehicle or the right channel, definitely your dreams and your aspirations will be accomplished. Anyone that has accomplished something in life basically is able to do that because he has the right means or the right channel to be able to have carried through with whatever plans or ideas or dreams that he or she has to be able to get there. It can be an individual, it can be a nation, it can be a country, it can be a family, it can be whatever, businesses, organizations, whatever. You can have whatever you want to have, but you cannot be able to get it done until you get the right channel or the right means to carry you to fulfill it. Can I hear an amen in the house? So it's important for you to pause at a certain point in your life to ask yourself, who are the people in my life? Or who are the vessels or the instruments that are in my life that is either helping me to get to where I'm getting to, or it is not helping me to get to where I am getting to. Anywhere you and I have gotten to and where we intend to get to will be dependent upon things that happens around us and those that are involved. You cannot take them out. So it's critical for you to begin to consider, who are these people in my life and what are the factors in my life that can help me become what God wants me to be. Your journey of life development can delay or it can be fast-tracked based on these factors I'm talking about. So I have titled my message, Who is on your boat? And significantly, I told you last week that the boat is just vessel. But the boat, according to what I'm sharing, is symbolic representation of your career. It's a symbolic representation of your marriage. It's a symbolic representation of your business. It's a symbolic representation of an organization. It's a symbolic representation of a church. It's a symbolic representation of a family. And it's a symbolic representation of anything one aspires or dreams to become. It's a boat. Amen. Because every boat has a sailing point and then a disembarkment point. And life has a beginning and life has an end. In between life, what happens in between life is what is critical to determine whether you arrive at your destination or you don't arrive there. So when I talk of boat, it's something more important for us to consider. Now with the story I just shared, you realize that God spoke to his prophet Jonah and gave him an express word and an express instruction to go to Nineveh and go and speak to Nineveh, because God has realized that Nineveh has a challenge. They've sinned and they are going through a lot of things. So God said, go to them and warn them for the sin that they've committed, that they may repent. And then, because if they don't, I am coming to destroy them. Jonah hears the word, and Jonah decided to do the opposite. He goes to the port, all right, buys a ticket towards a different direction, headed towards Tarshish. On the way, there were storms on the sea. The storms came vehemently against the boat, and the boat was about breaking. In the midst of the turmoil and the frustrations of the crew on board, people decided to find ways to be able to salvage the situation or to save the problem. Goods or peoples or cargoes of peoples, which can be translated into people's business or wealth and everything, was carried and thrown into the sea. All of this did not help to calm the waters. Still, the sea was boisterous. So that tells you that the boat lost a lot of goods or wealth or people's business. You can imagine if you have shipped a container of goods that you have gone to the bank to take a loan and you are going to sell because it's coming for you to clear and be able to make your profit. And you sit back and you heard that there was a challenge over on the seas and your container and everything was thrown into the water and everything already, business is bankrupt. Are you there with me? Because if you can't get your goods cleared, you couldn't be able to sell and for you to even get the money to pay. So the question is, who pays for these bank loans? So already people's businesses have crashed. I want you to picture it realistically. So you can imagine if you are a merchant and your goods are part of these goods that were thrown into the sea. What it simply means is that your business is gone. Your money is gone. Your livelihood is gone. Dependence on you, those who depend on you, have also been cut off, because the thing is that if you don't do the business, you cannot pay. Hello? So I want you to look at the cumulative effects of the actions of the people on board. And then it translates further that in the midst of all of that, they realize that no, this thing, the situation is not being solved, because they did it to lighten the boat, which means that more of the goods went out. You can imagine traveling and there was turbulence in air, and then they opened the what do you call the cargo container in terms of the airplane and downloaded all your bags. I want you to picture it. Just to explain to you that they wanted the flight to stabilize. So that was what happened. Now, in the midst of it, they realized that couldn't solve the problem either. So they began now to begin to cry upon God. Everybody decided to touch base with whatever he or she knows. Because in life, every human being has something following him or her. Whether you go to church or you don't go to church, there is a spirit. There's a spiritual component of your being. And there is something you relate to. I have heard people saying that certain countries like China, Japan, and everything, they don't believe in God and blah, 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 and they are developing. I laugh. Because there is no any country anywhere with development or any nation anywhere which does not believe in something. Are you understanding me? If you go to China, they have something they believe in. You go to Japan, they have something they believe in. You go to India, they believe in something. You come to Ghana, you see, spirituality can never be taken out of a man's life. So don't be ignorant. So whenever we are talking sometimes, and I get so thrilled that even people that are supposed to be knowledgeable even speak that way. And they confidently even write about that. But the foundation and the success and the strength of every economy and every nation can never be detached from spirituality. Go and check through. Can never be detached from spirituality. Have you entered into any Chinese restaurant and you enter in there? The minute you enter in there, there is a god or something sitting there. Have you seen it before? Have you gone to a typical Indian and you see the red thing there and they are praying? Who told you they don't pray? In fact, they are more even serious than even as believers. You go and open your shop, you don't even pray. But then before they come to open, they will close their doors and they will pray their prayers because that's what they believe in. And they will do that before. Look, believe you me or not, the development of any nation, be it the Asian tigers, be it whatever it is predicated upon spirituality. We Africans, we have thrown our spirituality away. And we are believing to succeed. If the foundation is destroyed, the righteous cannot do anything. Until we understand how we place our spirituality in perspective, Africa can never develop. Take it from me. It doesn't matter how we fight. It doesn't matter how we have plans and everything. Listen to me. You can't detach spirituality from development. If you doubt what I'm saying, go and study about emergence of economies of any nation. Because culture is central to development. And if culture is central to development, culture is in the heart of religion. Religion is the key that opens the door for every development of any nation. So they begin to call on their gods. Everybody begin to touch base with something he believes in. In the midst of it, they were able to realize that no, this issue is beyond natural. There is a spiritual connotation to this problem. And in that means they were able to identify that there is one person among us who is responsible for that. And that person, they were able to trace that person is in the basement of the ship. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have spiritual insight to things, you can't solve the problem. You can't solve a problem. You will throw in cargoes into the sea. You see, you will plant. The people, Bible said that the people were doing everything possible to stabilize the storm. But you see, if the thing is against you and you don't know what is causing it, it doesn't matter what applications you put in. You see, plans are good, but plans can never work until you know what you are planning for. If you don't know what you are planning for, you will be you'll be applying certain principles that will never work for you. What they did by throwing the cargoes into the sea was a good thing, because by their study they know that if this thing happens and we lighten the boat cannot float. But the issue is that around that time, that was not the solution. They tried to row hard. You heard me reading it. They tried to row hard, but as hard as they try, still it's not working. So effort is not equal to outcomes or results. And in our life, who is not trying here? Tell me, who is not trying here? Who is lazy here? None of us is lazy. Even the one that sleeps is work. It's work. Have you ever tried that? You said you're not going anywhere this time. Today I'm going to sleep. And you sleep, but when you wake up, you see that your body and everything is even tired. If you choose not to do anything, you say you will sit there and be eating. It's even work. So there is nothing like being lazy anywhere. Whether you like it or not, everything is work. And we are all trying, but where is the result? Because you see, if something is not in place, it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot get the result. You can't get the result. Until that thing is in place, before you can get the result. Before you can get the result. Hello? Am I preaching somebody? They did whatever. Look, they were pushing. They used all the technology, the wisdom, the navigation abilities they have as seamen or whatever. They tried with the engineering skills and everything, but nothing was happening for them until they had insight into the problem. That this is where the problem is coming from. So let's go this way and then we can tackle it. The advancement and development of every economy, of every nation, of every family, of every business, of every organization, of every church can only come when we know exactly where our challenges are. If we can't define our challenges, we cannot have the solution. The problem we have is that when, just like on this ship, they were faced with a storm, but at a certain period they were living in denial. Because the reason why they were living in denial is that the storm was against them, but they didn't see it that, look, this thing can destroy things, though they saw the threat and they were afraid. But the whole thing was that they were trying to get quick fix solutions to stabilize the whole thing. But you see, there are certain challenges that comes to you that does not demand quick fix. It demands permanent fixes. In your marriage, in your business, in whatever you do, if you can't get permanent solutions to the problems, the problem will come back again. I said to do what? It will come back again. If the sickness that is disturbing you always result in headache, and you only take paracetamol to take care of the headache, if the challenge of the headache is as a result of your pressure, that translates into headache, and you only take paracetamol, it will definitely work on the headache aspect. Do you understand me? But the problem, because it is a pressure problem, it is because your blood rises. That is what it pushes more pressure into the brain, and that is why you have headache, because your blood flow, it's pumping more pressure and it's not flowing the way it's supposed to, because there's a rhythm for the blood to flow, and if the rhythm is not there, you translate into that headache. Now, you took paracetamol, you are fine, but because it's a pressure problem, when at a certain period you will be there, then the thing will start coming back again. But when it is diagnosed and they know that it's pressure problem, when your pressure is treated, automatically your headache will not be there. Hello. If you have headache and it's a result of constipation, and you go treating the headache and you don't treat the constipation, No matter what medication you take, you'll still be having a challenge. So diagnosing a problem is critical. And that was where at a certain point these people did. From the beginning when they were going through the things, they didn't diagnose the issue. They were just trying to find solution to the problem. Yet they don't know the magnitude of the problem. But at a certain point they paused and said, listen, this thing we are doing is not help. So let's find solution to the problem. And when they pause and begin to analyze the problem, that is when they casted a lot. That is where they begin to question. In the midst of it, they realized, no, this is the source of the problem. And they went and brought Jonah. Now, when they brought Jonah in, now, listen to whatever. When they questioned Jonah, Jonah said, listen, I am the one. I am responsible for this challenge. I'm the root cause of everything. Take me and throw me into the sea. And when you do this, your situation will be all right. The people said, no, we can't do that to you. Because they were human enough. But the truth of the matter is that when situations come, and solutions need to be applied, sentimentalism is taken out. You can never use sentiment to solve a permanent problem. The problem with a lot of us is that we are not able to solve our problem because we are so much attached with emotions to the things. You know, for a long time, even you have prayed as a person, you have investigated. God has opened your eyes. He has shown you who are the problems and what are the problems around you. But you are so much attached that when I do it, they will be offended. So why will I do it? You are too careful not to hurt a fly. And so you are thinking that if I should do it, or I should move this person, or I do this, it will rock my boat. So I don't want my boat to be rocked. Let me keep them. So you have become like the mariners or the crew on board who are trying to row still, though they know the storm is that they are saving Jonah against what is going on, against the storm. Yet the boat, business have been lost. Cargoes have been thrown into the sea. Things have gone bad and nothing is working. And Jonah is the problem. Jonah says, deal with me and you'll be fine. And we said, no, we don't want to deal with you. We want to keep the whole thing going. And at the end of the day, the ship is also what? Breaking apart. And Jonah said, when you deal with me, everything will be fine. They said, no, we are not doing, because you see, we have attachment, we have relationship, we have this, we have that. So we cannot do it. We can't see you going. We are emotionally attached to you. So let's, no, we can keep you. And yes, the thing is not working. And he said, let me go. He said, no, you cannot go. Listen, a lot of us, the problem in our life is not a demon, it's our making. Hello? Listen, permit me to equate it because I'm a global leader. Because that's what I did. I did global leadership in my MPhil stage. I'm doing policy and administration on my Ph.D. level currently. So I don't only preach Bible. I speak about contemporary issues. Amen. Any advanced developed country at a certain time took drastic measures. Irrespective of the emotions of the people. Check through the development of Asia. Check through the development of we are all running Africa. We are all running to Japan. You thought Japan folded their arms and became emotional to have developed this way. They shut their doors to every economy, to whatever. They took serious drastic measures. And today they are where they are and we are running to them. You can never eat your cake and have it. Listen to me. God did not create things to work like that. Emotions don't fix problems. Attachment don't fix problems. Check through Dubai. Go, you go. Me, anywhere I travel to, I go and learn. Once upon a time, the United Kingdom who came to colonize us were like a bush. Hello, to your information. Malaysia, Japan, China, name them. They took trust. We are talking about Rwanda and we are comparing Rwanda. Let me tell you something. They have taken drastic measures. after they identify where the problems are, they put in structures. You thought it's easy? No. Can you imagine this church as we sit here right now? Some of you don't like me, I don't have a problem. But can you imagine this church, even when there are no order in this place? People can enter and somebody can, because every human being will choose what suits him or her. Because, so if I feel like sitting on this altar, and that is where I want to put my chair, the person will sit there. But you know why when you come in, there is an usher to direct you? Because order is important for progress. If you can't have order in your life, in your family, in your organization, in your business, in your nation, you can never develop. Because chaos does not help anything. There was chaos on the ship. Your ship is chaotic. Your home is chaotic. Your family is chaotic. And then you are expecting to be able to calm the storms. You can't calm the storms. You can't. There is no orderliness in your life. There is no discipline in your life. There is no planning in your life. Your life is anything goes. Anybody enters into your life at any time. Everybody lives your life at any time. Everybody is your friend at any time. You are a friend to everybody at any time. You are emotionally attached. Unless you don't hear somebody is dead, you are going there. Unless you don't hear there is an enemy, you are going there. Unless you don't hear there is this, you are going there. You travel out. Unless you don't hear that there is a shoe here, you are buying. You don't hear there is this, you are buying. You don't even have plan for your life. At what point you are getting what? At what point you don't get what? You see, anybody that wants to develop, you have to be disciplined as far as your life is concerned, and you do need to introduce order. They said, throw me out. He said, we are not doing it. We are keeping you. A lot of us are keeping excess packages around us. And we are thinking of what men will say. So because of that, we are not able to release those things out of our life. And yet, the people or the things in our life feels that we should let them go. And to the extent that they will be doing things to us or things will happen to us that will be provoking us to get it done. And yet still we don't want it to go. That is the problem of God with humanity. Attachment. Abraham said, Hagar cannot go because I have an attachment. God said, shut up. Listen to what Sarah is telling you. Let the woman go. Listen, separation sometimes is critical for your next level. Abraham couldn't have got. Bible said when Abraham saw that the promise God has given him, he was about a stretch to get there, and he lifted his eyes and he saw the place. Bible said that he told the servant to stay with the donkeys. And then he and Isaac move ahead to the next level. Everybody cannot go with you where you are going. You can start with people. They can be in your organization. They get to a certain time, they plateau. They get familiar. And when they plateau and get familiar, everybody that comes in with fresh grace or fresh blood, they fight the person and kill the person's zeal. And you should be able to know that as a leader. So you cut off those people. That is why it's important. If you look at very serious organizations, they do organization reshuffling. They move you from one department to another. And sometimes they can, if they have other companies, they can transfer you from one company to the other place. Because you see, it is all for your good, for continuous development. Because when you stay at a place for a long time and you don't get anything challenging you, you become comfortable. And you become a territorial demon. Fighting everybody and destroying things. Hello, give me a way. When they took Jonah now and threw Jonah into the sea, instantly the storms ceased. Instantly the storm did what? So they didn't need to row hard. They didn't need to throw out cargoes. They didn't need to lose resources. They didn't need to lose anything. It was a simple application. And they had a result. Can I suggest to you that maybe you and I are rolling hard against a storm and doing everything we think we can do to deal with the storm, but yet it's not working? There might be something, there might be a Jonah, that when we throw that Jonah out, we shall be fine. I want you to think about it. There might be a Jonah. Hello? I said there might be what? A Jonah. So when we take that thing out, we'll definitely have solutions. There might be a Jonah. So our life is surrounded by so many things. The way we handle it is critical. Myself inclusive. Hello? Myself inclusive. Because things you entertain that you know is not helping you will definitely destroy you tomorrow. Attitudes, characters. Oh, they are my friends. I cannot tell them no when they said we should go with them. Yet you don't drink, you don't smoke, but you follow them. They'll go and sit in a place and you know they are drinking, they are smoking. What they are doing, you know it's not right. But the thing is that you feel you want to keep the relationship. So if I tell them no, they'll be offended. So I'm going with them. And yet you go and sit in their company. You all drink and you all smoke. They drink, sorry, you don't drink, but they are drinking. Say me, I don't drink. They are drinking. You take your Coke. Me, whenever they are drinking, I take my Coke. No problem. When they are smoking, I'm there. I'm just watching TV. And then tomorrow there is a problem. Once they get them arrested, you shall be arrested. Listen to me. In life, whoever gets closer to you is important. Write it down. Don't look at me. I've told you when you come, write the messages. When you finish, share it with somebody. Because tapes you don't buy. And there is no way you can sit in a church and think what they preach, you heard everything. You can't. Because every human being has an absorption rate. But when you finish writing or you take the tape and you are listening, and what note you made, you ask yourself, and so this was said in church? If you want to grow as spiritually and grow maturely in everything you are doing in life, please, information is key. Hallelujah. Whoever comes into your life will either bring a storm or will bring a progress. If Jonah had not joined that boat, they wouldn't have lost their cargo. They wouldn't have lost resources. Are you there with me? Their boat wouldn't have been in a challenge. But because Jonah joined them, there was a problem. Who is in your life? Do you hear what I'm asking? I said, who is in your life? Who is on your team? If you're a supervisor, your team, who is on your team? As a team leader, who is on your team? Because the people on your team will determine whether you succeed or you lose. Who is on your team? Your life, as you are going on in life, whatever you are doing, be careful who comes around you. Because it's not everybody that comes around you that really loves you. Delilah entered into the life of Samson and portrayed to Samson that he loves Samson, but he was looking for the eyes of Samson. Hello? By the time Samson could realize on the loves of Delilah, his eyes were gone. David entered into the life of Jonathan, and it was a blessing. Master, your friend or who is around you is as important as your life. If you're a businessman, those that you keep as your associate and friends is critical. Because there will be difficult times. And when difficult time comes, You should be able to pick your phone and call people who can support you and not those people who can depend on you. All of you sitting, you might be having phone numbers of many people, useless calls, talking to people, wasting credit. When challenging times comes and difficult comes, and none of them will be there to even bail you out. Because you are the savior and the survivor for everything. But there might be people on your call that I want to tell you, when you call them and they pick their call, just one phone call for you will turn everything around you. Those are the people you need in your life. Can I tell you this? Don't ever think relationship is charity. Can I say it again? What I'm saying is deep. I said, don't ever think relationship is charity. Relationship is for beneficial purposes. That is why you have to control who comes into your space. That's why you have to control who becomes your friend. You can have many complimentary cars, but all of them does not belong to you. Hello? Because if you look at the Jonah situation, it's critical. Some people bring storms with them. There are people you can employ in your company, and your company will go down like this. I'm telling you. You can't joke with that. There are people today that are looking for a way, whether they die or whatever, in marriage because of who came into their life. They were doing very well until somebody came and said, I'll marry you. Now the person marries them and their life now is hell. So don't tell me it doesn't matter. It matters. I said, that's what? It matters. There are things we can't say here as we preach. But there are people today who are dead. And they were not supposed to have been killed today. But they are dead. Because of who came into their life. There are people in Isawam prisons. In whatever prison that they are in, that they were not supposed to have been there, but because somebody came into their life. They are not bad people, but they find themselves in that place. There are people today that nobody wants to trust. Not because they are not trustworthy, but because of people they are associated with. There are people today that are going through a whole lot of challenges in their business and their life. They would have done well and everything. Not because they were bad investors or they were bad whatever, but because of who came into their life as their friends. So, my brother, if you want your storms to cease, please be careful who is introduced into your life. Your Jonah is critical. All of you, this is my friend, this is my this is my that, this, you are working. I don't have a problem. But you see, the team you have is critical for whatever you are able to achieve in life. And when we sack him, when we sack her, when he goes, what will he eat? When he has not come to work with you, was he not eating? Oh, come on, give me a... No, was he not eating? Even if Jesus would tell Judas Iscariot, hurry up and go, and detach Judas out of his life, what about you? Some of us play God when we are not even God. And that was the problem. On that boat, like I told you last week, there are different categories of people. The undecided is there. The undecided. On a team, you can have people who cannot decide. The undecided. Jonah, go to Tarshish. He's going to leave. He's not decided where he wants to go. The undecided. When you have undecided people on your boat, among your team, you are dead. Because they can't decide anything. There are undecided husbands, there are undecided wives, there are undecided children, there are undecided managers. They don't even know anything. They don't even know why they are where they are. You see, when you don't know why you are where you are, you behave anyhow. Ask somebody, why are you, whether the person is a male or female, ask the person, why are you a man? Why are you a woman? Do you know there are people who are husbands and don't know why they are husbands? And do you know there are wives who doesn't know why they are wives? Oh, come on, talk to me. Hello? There are people who are managers and they are enjoying the position as a manager, but they don't know why they are managers. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Because somebody has a title does not mean the person know why he has that title. Having a title is one thing, and understanding your role for that title is another. Because immediately you know the essence and importance of why you are where you are, it gives you a certain kind of attitude towards that. And you behave as such. Hello, give me a... Hello. If you don't know you are a Christian, you behave like an unbeliever. But when you know you are a Christian, you behave as such. If you are a leader and you don't know you are a leader, you behave like a common floor member. But when you know you are a leader, you behave differently. So it is about knowing where you are and what is demanded of you, that it becomes important. So when you have undecided as your leaders, you have undecided as your husband or your wife or your organizational whatever, you are already dead. Hello? They can't decide anything. What do you think about this situation? I trust you. You do it. If you trust me, then why do we have to discuss? Oh, darling, I want to do this and that and that. These are the plans I have. You spelled out everything. So what is your input? If it can work. I know it can. I know you with you. Oh, you can. That's all. The guys will say, Tonue for Tonue for whom? Amen. You have leaders, you meet with leaders, you are sharing ideas. Okay, this is what I want to do, and all those things. And they sit down and look at you, finish saying, oh, go ahead. What do you think? I need other inputs. Because knowledge is not what one man said. The next thing is the reactive, which you saw. The reactive, they were throwing the cargoes just to be able to, because they were reactive to the situation. They didn't wait for anything. They didn't diagnose anything. They need to act. They're reactive. Those people, they don't wait for instructions. By the time you came back from work and get to the house, they've done it. There are those people who says, I think. You've heard them. I feel like. Have you met those people like that before? You have not. They have not taken instructions. They don't know whatever they have to do. But what told them is you are talking to them. They are listening. You have not finished. They are leaving. And then you say, but where are you going? He said, oh, I thought you have finished. Have you met them before? I taught people. They're reactive. When you have the reactive, you are not going anywhere. They will listen to you all right, but do the opposite. Because they just react to the moment. Knee-jerk approach. We have the risk takers. The risk takers. The people realize that, listen, this is the situation, but we'll take a risk and see whether it will work. Throw in the cargoes. Let's roll hard. It's a risk. Are you understanding me? It is what? A risk. But they took that risk. Though you might say they have wasted the goods, but the risk that they took was good because they need to do something about the situation and they were taking the risk to solve it. In life, you need to take some risk. You need to take some risk. But don't take foolish risk. You need to take what you call calculated risk. Weighing all the options. You know that I will step here, though many people will not believe. But I know when I step there, I will come out. And that is what is important. The next thing is that you have the initiators. The initiators. Sorry, we have the risk takers and then we have the risk averse. The risk averse, those who doesn't want to take any risks. They are just there. Okay? They think, oh, this one I will not want to do anything about it. And you can equate them to the Jonahs. They are sleeping. They do not even care what is going on. If you have people like that also in your life, it's a challenge. Amen. And then you have the initiators. Those who initiate a process. And you need those people. And you can find that in the captain. You can find that in the rest. They say, let's come together. Let's cast laws. Let's initiate something to find a solution. Those people, they are team players. They understand human relations. They are able to bring everybody on board and say, look, this is the problem the organization is facing. This, whatever. What can we do to solve the problem? Bring your ideas. Bring your inputs. Let's put it together. They are team players. They are able to rally people around and move them. It's a leadership ability that you need in your team to be able to get you there. If you don't have such people in your life, they doesn't challenge you. They don't challenge you at all. But you need people like that to challenge you. Then you have the leaders, like the captain. He is a leader. He is able to take charge of the situation and move in to look for the one who is supposed to be there. And eventually he acted on him. You need leaders in your life. People that will lead you. They will take responsibility, stretch you to be able to get things done. And then finally, the planners and the fact finders or researchers. The planners and the fact finders, they were looking out for where the problems are. They were casting lot to find out where the challenges are. You need those people in your life. Listen to me. If you have people in your life who can always tell you, no, boss, slow down. Let's look at this place. Let's look at that place. Let's look at this. What about this? You said that they ask you several questions to justify your action. It's a good thing. You need them in your life. Now, finally, as we have promised you, what happens when the wrong person joins your boat? Number one, signs for you to know that the wrong thing has come. What happens to you when the wrong person joins your boat? Number one, storms will come against you severely. Storms will come against you severely. And storms are adversaries. They are problems. They are challenges. Anytime you begin facing so many problems around you, please pause and ask yourself why. It might be some attitude that you have developed. It might be something that you are doing that is not right. Because life itself has its own way of teaching you a lesson. Hello? As a life itself has its own way of what? Teaching you a lesson. Don't be stubborn when it happens and still force yourself like the mariners and be rolling hard. When the thing is not working, please pull back. Because a storm is hitting you and there is a reason for the storm. There is something behind that storm. Pull back and analyze. Sometimes take a retreat. Move away. Hello? Leave home. Go to the beach. Walk through the beach. Reflect in your life. Ask certain important questions. Where I was and where am I now? What brought me this far? And why am I facing what I'm facing now? It is said that the unexamined life is not worth living. Examine your life again. Listen to me. It is not every time that people hate you. It's not every time that people hate you. In this part of our world, we don't want to hear the truth. So anyone that speaks the truth, we say is a bad person. He doesn't like me. But you don't need yes sir people around you. Hello? You need people. You see, in life, you should have friends that can look straight into your eyes and tell you if you are a fool, they tell you you are a fool. Don't be foolish. Hello? If you have friends that are around you, that anything you say is what they will take hook and sinker, please run. They are hypocrites. You are not clapping, you are looking at me. Because you want people who sing your songs and your praise. You are dead. That is why every human being in life, you need your critics. In fact, your loved ones does not make you, your critics makes you. Your critics stretches, you see, if you take criticism in good faith, they will think they are destroying you, but you get better. Because it makes you to consistently search your life. Are you there with me? It makes you consistently search your life. And so when you search your life and what they are saying is true, you change. If what they are saying is not true, you still move on. But you see, your critics becomes like the spring in your leg so that you are always going and you are not slowing down. Because you know when you slow down, they will catch up with you. So they serve as the refiners to refine you. Am I blessing you? So please, stop having yes sir people around you. You know what you are doing is all right, but your friend cannot tell because they are afraid to tell you. And when they tell you, you say, you are not my friend. You just say, oh. And when they leave you, those are the hypocrites. When they leave you, they say, sir, that's how it is. So please, it's important. Storms, when they come, please pause and reflect. Tell somebody, pause and reflect. Tell another person, pause and reflect. I'm not saying, see, you need wisdom also to be able to approach issues. Because you see, the way you will approach the issue will make the person take what you are saying or get angry with what you are saying. There are some of us that because we say we are pampered, you don't even use wisdom. You can go and sit before your father and say, Father, I'll tell you, Father, I'll tell you. Father, that thing you are doing is wrong. You don't behave this way, you don't behave. Shut up, your father will slap you. Hello? You should know how to apply wisdom in counsel. Nathan, the prophet, went to David the king. David the king has slept with Bathsheba and has killed Uriah and has taken Bathsheba to be a wife. Everybody around David cannot approach the issue. And God sent Nathan to go and warn David. Nathan could have gone to David and said, David, you are the king, but I am telling you this. Because God sent him. Hello, my Joshua's brothers and sisters there. And said, you King David, listen, because the Lord, that says the Lord, listen. You have done wrongly. Why will you take Bathsheba and kill Uriah? God said, he's bringing the sword in your family. You all perish. Nathan wouldn't leave the premises of David. His head would have gone. Because the king has power. Pastor, I am telling you. Because this and that and that. Me, I have to tell you the truth. Okay. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. And then when we leave, we'll see who is the truth. Zeal without knowledge. You move to your boss office, your CEO's office. And he says, CEO, sit down. I want us to talk. The way you are running the company is not good. They are complaining. The workers are complaining. And you should be able to check this, do that, do that. Instructing your CEO. You are already fired. Some of you have stayed in, people have stayed in companies and they are not being promoted. It's not because of you are not being promoted. Because you are not wise. You are too foolish to be able to use your head. You have the information, you are right, but you didn't know how to package. You see, packaging is critical for delivery. You can have the nicest product in the world. Master, if you are not able to package it well, nobody will buy. That is why BlackBerry is out. And Apple is still going on. The secret of Apple, look, whether Apple 1, Apple 2, Apple 3, Apple 4, Apple what, Apple 11, Apple 12, they are all the same Apple. But the reason why we are going after them when we are crazy, Charlie, yeah, I need the latest one. Once they are release one, and second one, and people are rushing for it, is because of packaging. It's packaging. So please, you need to know how to package your delivery around a king, around your friend, around whatever, so that the advice, the caution you are giving will be accepted in good faith and not being angry. Nathan went in and he said, a rich man has money. He has many sheep and has many goats. And then in that city, there is a poor person who only has one lamb. And a visitor came to this rich man. And when the visitor came, the rich man needed to sacrifice, do a party for his rich friend. And he left all his sheep and his cows, his poultry and everything, and went for the only one lamb of this poor man, which is the livelihood, the friendship, the everything of this poor man, and use it because he has power, and use that for the party for his rich friend. King, can you imagine this? David got up from his seat. He said, what? That rich man is a wicked rich man. He needs to be dealt with. Where is he? He said, king, you are the one. Instantly, David was broken down. And he repented. Look at the approach. Tell somebody, approach is critical. Approach is critical. So don't leave here and said, Pastor preached and told me that I have to be able to speak my mind. So I'm going to speak my mind. I'm cautioning you before now. Because if you go that way, you come home and sit at home. Amen. Some of that you need to pray into it. Pray continuously. Ask God for wisdom. Check the timing, the environment. Are you there with me? And the mood of the person and everything. And when all those things comes into play, it will now give you the opportunity to speak, and the person will like you for a long time. Sometimes you keep quiet. When a person says you don't say anything, you will leave. Or you say, okay, fine, I've heard. Can you please allow me to think about it and also get back? You say, okay, you go and think about it, and then you go and think about it. It's not everything that you instantly have to answer. Hello. You have a voice, but you should know where to use it. So, the next challenge that comes to you is that when the wrong person is on your boat, is that your effort will yield nothing. More effort without results. You will try, but you can't get anywhere. The third is that there will be fear and panic. And so you do things without planning. You will do things without planning. There will be fear and panic. So you just be doing things, fixing it the way it has to be fixed. Because you see, a wrong element has entered. It's just like our body. When the wrong things enter our body, that is where we have sickness. Sickness is as a result of a foreign material introduced in our body. That's a result of sickness. When no foreign material is introduced into your body, you are fine. That is all. Simple definition. Proverbs 22:12. Give me Proverbs 22:12. Proverbs 22:12. It said, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The eyes of the Lord preserve what? Knowledge, but he overthrows what? The words of the faithless. So, if you are faithless, when you even speak the word, it doesn't go anywhere. So, you have to know that. The fourth thing that happens to you when the wrong people are on your boat is that you are forced to pray out of panic and desperation. Your prayer is panic prayer. And these days, a lot of people do panic prayers. Paul says that I do not pray amiss. I pray focused. Panic prayers. That is why you see people jumping to going everywhere, looking for solutions everywhere, from one camp to another, from one prayer center to another, from one this to another. They don't even believe that their church can even solve their problem. They have prophet 1, prophet 2, prophet 3, prophet 4, prophet 5, prophet 6, prophet 7. In fact, when they pick your phones, when even their pastor calls them, they are confused. They'll pick and say, "Hey, Prophet Johnny." Say, "Oh no, this is not Prophet Johnny, this pastor is pastor." "Oh, pastor. Hello. Because the wrong person is on their boat. So they are running everywhere. That's why you can find believers even going to shrines. Hello. Going to do all kinds of things, because the thing is that they are so desperate for solution. And the thing is that they don't even care where they get the solution from. Listen, when you get to that point where you are desperate for solution for anything, please pause. You are stepping into dangerous grounds, because you see, around that time you can't think straight. And that is why the devil can introduce anybody into your life. Please, it's important. All of us have gotten there before. Those are the times you need to go back into your closet. Because if you don't take that, you will take some decisions you will regret for the rest of your life. I'm telling you. There are people today, in their moment of desperation, if they have waited a little, hello, if they have waited a little, they would have saved themselves something. But because they couldn't, they bargained their life away. And today, look at the story of Jacob and Esau. Though God meant it that way, but it teaches us a lesson. If Esau would have endured the anger at that time and not tell Jacob, "You take my birthright, what is my birthright to me?" it would have been a different story. Listen, don't be desperate and say that I don't care who comes to marry me. Don't be desperate to take a job opportunity that you think is not going to help you. But because you have sat down and nothing is coming, you say, "I don't even care. I will take it because I've waited on God, and God is not answering. I've prayed, He's not even answering. I will take this anyway, anyhow. Whether it works or it doesn't work, I'm going for it. I don't care." Don't live a life and say you don't care. You have to care. I said you what? You have to care. Because every decision we take will either be a blessing to us today or a curse to us tomorrow. So there is no decision we take that we can say that decision does not matter. It matters. Tell somebody and tell the person it matters. And tell the person, so be careful with the decision you take. It's important. Don't be desperate to take it. Whenever you are desperate, please don't take a decision. I beg you. I said, don't do what? Don't take a decision. And don't take certain advices around that time. The last thing, you will lose things. You will lose things. You will lose money, joy, peace, property, life, resources. When the wrong people come around you, they enter into your home. They become your friend. You were enjoying your marriage until they came into your life. Now, immediately they entered into your life. Your marriage now is... You didn't see certain fault about your husband before. You now begin to see those faults. You never saw certain fault about your wife before. You begin to see those faults. Because you go to them, you said, "Oh, this man..." My wife... How many of you know Kumasi Yonko? How many of you have watched Kumasi Yonko before? You see, you don't watch things. Amen. The person is your life. The person is not enjoying what you enjoy, but he said, my husband takes good care of me. My husband provided. He's jealous of your own, but you don't even know. My husband is like that. And then you come back. He said, my husband, when he did this is what I did to him. So when I did to him, he began to change. So you also come home, you are applying that method. You also want to come and do that same to your husband. Your husband wanted to, he said, "Shh." Now the time has come and your husband is throwing your everything out. And your friend is laughing at you. And then you go to, he said, "Are you crying? Show him that you are a woman." Okay. Show him. You meet you and your boss. You didn't have a problem with your boss. Then until you meet a friend, he's telling you, "In my company, this is what I do. They can't push me around. I did this." You also went there. You want to go and apply that same thing. You forget that the environment are not the same. They are not the same. So please, don't just take any mold at all and fit it. You have to be able to trim it to fit your size. It's important. If you don't do it, you will lose things. You will lose money. You will lose friendship. You will lose relationship. You will lose your life. You will lose resources. It will be a challenge and a headache for you until you deal with them. If you don't deal with them, my brother and my sister, a Jonah in your life is a nightmare forever. God bless you. I'll continue next week.